are you drinking?
It's a protein shake.
I'm getting fatter and you're getting buffer.
Yee. Alright guys, what's up? Connor.
Andrew.
And we are going to be going over our top games of 2015, 5 each.
Mm-hmm.
There's one overlay. You find out which one that is. I'll give you the honors of going first, Andrew.
Alright, cool. So my number 5 game for the year is QP Shooting Dangerous. It was...
Never played that.
It was a bullet hell that came out earlier in the year. It was sent to us for review. Every 4 out of the 5 games that are on my list were games that devs sent us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good. The graphics are really nice and crisp, really good anime style. And I've never played a bullet hell before, so it was a new experience for me. It was ball crushing, but it was new and it was fun. And it was super colorful. The music was good.
That's the one with the little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. Yeah, I remember when you reviewed that one. Yeah, you liked it a lot.
I did. It's a really good game. It's fun. It's something if you're into shmups you should play. But it's probably not... It's a little niche. It's not something I could recommend for everybody, but it's really good. And you should give it a chance if you like that kind of stuff.
Alright, I guess on to my number 5, which is Party Hard, which if you watch our channel, I reviewed it back in September. Really, really, really fun game. Like, it just came out of nowhere for me. Like, it had this, it was one of those things that, like, it seemed like it was kind of doing the Hotline Miami thing where you go and you just kill a bunch of people. But it was, like, very different in comparison. Like, whereas, you know, Hotline Miami is this really fast-paced, like, fuck you, just bash people's heads in and all that shit. Party Hard was like really tactical, like you had to think about every move that you were doing, and it was overall this like whole experience of just like going in and you're like, alright, I'm gonna kill that guy, but he'll see me. So you gotta like figure out how people are getting killed. And in my review I gave it an A-, but that was the pre-release version. And actually going back now, after its full release, they actually went back and added some of the...
I saw they added Sharknado.
Yeah, they added Sharknado. They added, they made the levels more unique, gave them like more styling, and they literally like did the things that I was like saying should be done to it. It was like, oh, I'd like more traps. They added more traps. I'd like this. It's like they actually went back and did the things that I was like, yeah, this totally should happen. I don't know if they were like looking at my video and were like, oh, that all makes sense, or if it's like just so happened I coincided with like the general consensus, but it's pretty cool.
So if you were to give it a new grade, would it get an A, straight up A? Or
yeah, it would
now?
An A or an A+ now, because it's got even more like of its unique features to itself, and it's just really good. I've actually I was gonna be playing it again, like fully, like from the start to finish again recently, and yeah, I'll probably do an extra like re-review, like coming back to it now that it's out of early access and it's its full game. It's very good though, like completely still totally recommend it obviously, and it's my number 5 for 2015.
My number 4 is probably, I would say, the smallest in scope title, just because what it actually does is so simple, but it's so good. Kung Fury, the game based off the really awesome movie that came out. The game itself is super simple. It's a beat 'em up, but in just a left right. It's a lot like 1,000 Punches or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been a while, but it's super fun. It's super crisp. Like every time you die, you feel like it's your fault, which is something that the game could have really messed up.
Yeah.
Because there's just this fine balance and this difficulty curve that's really good. You know, you start off really simple, but as you keep going on, it just gets harder and harder. But you're adapting and evolving as it goes on as well. So it's just really fun. It's probably one of the best just bargain buys you can get. It's like $3, I think.
Yeah, it's something really cheap. Like on Steam sales, it goes down to like less than $1.
Exactly. So it's really good, and the music's good. Everything is fantastic. The only thing that needed to be better was like online leaderboards.
Yeah,
that was the only thing wrong with it. And if that's the only thing wrong with your game, you've done something right.
And the other thing I really liked about that game was like as it ramped up, it was kind of like it wasn't rhythm based, but it had like a rhythm flow to it.
Yeah.
Like when you start, it's like poof, poof, and then like when you start getting up to the high levels, it's like like you start getting like a rhythm going on. It was really fun. I thought that game was really good. So
yeah, so that's my number 4.
My number 4 is Dying Light. So pulling out of the indie scene here. It's one that was earlier this year. A lot of people have a mixed bag on it, but I thought like overall like the multiplayer aspect to it, honestly, like that just made it for me. Like I think honestly, if I played it by myself, I probably wouldn't have given it as like high of a grade because it's like it has a good like ecosystem. I mean, it's the apocalypse, so I mean, of course it'll feel empty. That was kind of like one of my things. But there's always that balance between feeling empty and feeling like there's people at the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like the thing about the game though, like when you're playing multiplayer, it's like you're just 3 dudes or more, you know, however many you want. And there's running challenges, there's like kill the most zombies, like, and the game automatically just puts those in. Like there's some that you can go to and you're like, all right, let's go do this challenge. Or the game's just like, hey, while you're going to the next mission, who kills the most zombies? You know, it had a really good like play this game aspect to it, and it had a lot of funny Easter eggs too. Like I won't really mention a whole lot of them because I mean it's fun, but like literally you can look it up. There's all these Easter eggs. One specifically is EXP caliber, and it's a sword and a stone, and you sit there and you just hold on to it, and you have to hold it for like 6 minutes or something like, or 10 even, and you're just sitting there tugging on it and tugging on it and tugging, and then like you finally get it and you just get like a shit ton of experience. You pull the sword out, the thing breaks in like 3 swings, you know, on a zombie, but at the same time it'll just kill anything in one hit. It's fucking rad. There's stuff like that. Really good flow going on with the free running. Gunplay was awesome. Like a mixture of the small guns, big guns, a lot of like focus on melee, and it didn't have the like total RPG feel that Dead Island had.
Yeah.
That people didn't really like because it was like trying to be an RPG, but it was a shooter, and it just didn't combine the two very well. This one did a really good job of mixing both, I thought. So definitely give that a shot. That's my number 4.
Alright. And our number 3 actually coincides.
Number 3.
We both agree on it.
Yeah.
It's Stardust Vanguards.
Yeah, which if you watch our channel, we did that earlier this year as well.
January.
Yeah, in January. It was a real early cut, and it was out of nowhere too. It was like Stardust Vanguards, some 16-bit shooter.
Yeah, I just told him like, hey, can you help me review this? It's local multiplayer only. I just need some people. So we got some friends together. We went up into a study room at the school.
Yeah.
And we were so loud.
Yeah, we were loud. Like we were in the library, and we got tons of people looking at us. We were those jerks in the library. We were playing in like a study room, so it's supposed to be quieter. It has glass, like double-walled glass panes and everything. But we were just freaking out at how fucking good this game was. Like, oh my god, it came out. Like I see it. You look at it, and it's like, okay, it's a little pew pew game. You shoot little lasers at each other, and that's it. But the flow, the like excitement, the music, the freaking like, yeah, it's 16-bit, but like when you hit people, particle effects come everywhere, and it's not 3D. Like it legitimately looks old school. Mm-hmm. Like there's some of those like games that's like, oh yeah, it's using 16 or 8-bit graphics, but then they have like 3D sprites coming out and like these explode, and it just kind of looks off to me. I never really liked that look. But this one, it's like, okay, this genuinely could have been like, probably not on the Super Nintendo, but on like the Genesis. It seems like it would have been a Genesis game back in the day.
Yeah.
That that blast processing,
yeah.
I think. And it just had this overall like, fuck yeah feel.
Oh yeah, it was one of the first games I've played other than something that's like in the arcade that made me feel like I was actually controlling a mech.
Yeah.
Which is really something to say about a game that's 16-bit. Like, between that, the sword play, the gun play, the different maps, everything in the game itself was just executed to almost perfection. The only thing that was missing for me is online multiplayer.
Yeah, which it could have been an endless, like, sit there on the sofa and just keep playing and playing.
But I will say this, every single person that I played the game with, I played with my dad, family, you guys, friends, no one has disliked it.
Same here.
It's just been this thing where you play it and everyone's like, oh, fuck yeah, Stardust Vanguards? Let's play that shit for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's how it always is too. Like when I play, it's like I'll get people who aren't even gamers will play Stardust Vanguards and just be like, fuck yeah. Like, honestly, if it weren't for the two, like this, I was really considering putting this at number 1 for me. But it was, at the same time, it was like, the reason the game that's number 1 and number 2, and they're almost cliche at this point, but it's like, honestly to me, I'll explain it. But Stardust Vanguards, everyone should play it. It's like amazing.
Yep. So
Alright.
my number 2 or your number 2?
Rochambeau.
Alright. Rochambeau.
Alright.
Alright, so my number 2 is probably a surprise to some people.
Oh, yeah.
My number 2 is Minecraft Story Mode. Now, if you watch the channel or followed me at all on the interwebs, I fucking hate Minecraft.
Yeah, he hates it. I own it for every system, and he hates it.
I hate Minecraft so much, but Telltale just can't fuck up. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Every single thing they touch is great. The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead. I haven't played them, but I heard the Tales of the Borderlands and the
Those are actually really funny.
Yeah, I heard that's really good, and I hear the one that they do off of Game of Thrones is really good as well. So when they made Minecraft Story Mode, and it was recently on sale for super cheap, like a dime. So I was like, okay, well, let's try it. Screw it. Telltale's really good, even though I don't like Minecraft. It's fucking good. It has Patton Oswalt, I think his name is, as the main voice in the game.
Okay.
And he's fantastic. If you played a Telltale game, it's like any other Telltale game, except it's rated T. It's not quite as like graphic as some of the other ones because it does have Minecraft on it. It's made for younger people.
That's interesting. So that it's
kind
made
of
for younger people, but it's still T.
Yeah, I put it right in the middle. I believe it's T. I think.
Interesting.
So it's really good. Like, if you're into Telltale games, you'll like it. I'm a sucker for those things. So that's my number 2. If you've probably already played it, if you like Minecraft or Telltale games, and if you don't, then yeah, my list is very niche.
Yeah, very. My top 2, they're not very niche.
Yeah,
so,
I know they're not.
Yeah.
You fucking conformist.
Boom, right here, number 2, The Witcher 3. I haven't done a review of this one because my computer actually totally lost all the footage and all that shit, and it was that whole dead moment where I was like, I can't do shit right now. But Witcher 3. Now, this would be this. If I was gonna review it, the things main points I would say, the people feel alive, like when you're talking to them, like they all have their own personalities. They all have exceptional voice work, and overall, it's like they all look unique. If you're playing like Skyrim or something, you're like, that dude has the same face as that dude, and you just keep. And a lot of RPGs that happens, and it makes sense because you got to recycle things. It's usually The Witcher 3 though, like had tons of different people. Like the people just looked really good too. Like, and I don't mean that as in like they all looked appealing or attractive. Like sometimes people look grody as fuck and just look disgusting, but they still looked like people. Like they looked very unique. And the combat system, I really liked it. It had kind of had like the Batman series fighting, but with swordplay, and it just I like the overall feeling of how there's actually a sense of like solid progression. Games I actually love, like the Fallout series, they make it to where if you're level 1, things are actually still easier to fight. And even though like okay, a Deathclaw will still like wreck your shit, but it's like everything goes with your level. Whereas in The Witcher, it's like you start out, things will just wreck your shit and ruin you at lower levels, and it's like the game is seriously like hard in that aspect. But it's like overall you get this feeling of like okay, I'm fighting, and then you start getting like skilled in your fighting. And you can actually beat things that are incredibly harder, but they'll take a lot more time. And then as you get to like the higher levels, you're just like, bam! You can just slap the shit out of like anything that you see. And the story was just absolutely amazing overall. Like, it just has this really like solid. You don't have to even play the first 2 games to get it. Like they explain a lot of what happened. Because I didn't play the first one. I played a little bit of the second one. Really didn't care for the second one gameplay wise. But number 3 just put everything together like really perfectly. And then there's Gwent, which I don't know, you've probably heard about. People like were comparing it to like saying that it was better than Hearthstone. I call bullshit on that one.
Wait, was that Gwent, the card game inside?
The card game.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about it.
Oh, like people are raving. It's actually really good too. Like there's seriously there's points in the game where it's like okay, you're playing, and then you're just like, I'm gonna play Gwent, and then you just go into a tavern or a bar, whatever, and just start playing. And you can just sit there and play that for hours because it's a game within a game and it's actually well thought out and has everything set.
Sweet.
Witcher 3 is one of those ones. If you've got the computer to run it or a console, go for it. It's really good. If you've been thinking about it at all, do it. Be prepared to spend a lot of hours though.
All right. Before I get to my number 1, I just have a few honorable mentions I want to say, really quick. I almost put 2 of these on my list, and then one of them I'm not allowed to put on my list, so I'll do that one first. Horizon Shift.
Uh-huh.
That game objectively is great, but I was a part of the team, so I can't review it, biased, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other two I almost made on the list was Star Wars Battlefront, a game that kind of got canned. A lot of people didn't really like it that much.
Yeah.
But I personally thought it was fun. It's kind of a brainless shooter.
I played the beta.
People say it's like people just say it's Battlefield with a Star Wars code, but it's not really. It's more like
not.
It's like Call of Duty with a. It's more like Call of Duty with a Star Wars.
It's got the snapshotting of that, I would say. I'd agree with you there, but it's I mean, and then it also, because they're actually lasers, it's like Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty, the guns are like lasers. They shoot wherever.
But yeah, so the game's fucking gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Best game I've ever seen in my life.
Don't know if you ever saw it on PC, but...
No, I've only Xbox One.
It's like almost photorealistic.
But yeah, and then the other one that almost made my list was Supercharged Robot Volkaiser. It was a shmup that I reviewed a while ago. It got an A from me. It's really good. It's good. Those are just some of the games that almost made my list. But my number one, by far, the best game played in 2015 is Contradiction Spot the Liar. Holy fuck balls, man. This game, it's a full motion video game, kind of like back in the day, like Tex Murphy or some of the old Sega CD games. But this game does it to perfection. The main character in it is just so campy and over the top. It's amazing. The game made me laugh at certain parts. It made me, feel legitimately creeped out. All the actors in it are great. And the game doesn't hold your hand either. There's an option for you to be able to cheat, to be able to get past certain things. But it's fantastic. It was shot well. Everything that you'd want, the little subtle details as the time goes on, all these different things. So watch the review and just look at it. It's like $10, I think. It's well worth your money. The game's around 7 hours long. Fucking brilliant, man. Yeah, just I'm gonna make him play it. I'm gonna try to make everybody play it because that game's amazing. Seriously, I can't wait for the sequel.
Oh, just cuz. But anyways.
Anyway, what's your number one, bro?
Number one is Fallout 4.
Fucking
Fallout 4. Now, it feels like, some people would probably be like, oh, whatever, yeah. Like, there's a reason Fallout 4 is so great and why it's getting so much, like, if you played it, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't played it, play it. Because there's never been a time, aside from Bioshock 1, where I just got onto a game and just fucking played it, like, non-stop. When I was playing Fallout 4, and it was Friday, the week that it came out on Tuesday, started playing it, and I already had, like, 45 hours by Friday. And I was like, where the fuck did the days go? That's like over 10 hours a day. And yeah, that was funny. That week just worked out perfectly. We had a vacation day, like a canceled day, and like everything at school was just canceled out. And I was ready to play it, so I just played the shit out of Fallout. And
that wanting to play was like me with Contradiction. When I first got it, I wanted to keep going. Sometimes when we review games, we finish them or we get through them because we have to, right? But then every once in a while a game comes by like Fallout 4, Contradiction for me, that you just want to play and you just want to keep going because it's brilliant.
The funny thing is I actually still haven't finished the main quest in Fallout 4.
No.
But I've just been cranking it out and been like exploring every nook and cranny. The game does that to you. Like, it just gives you things to do. It's one of those games where it's like, oh, you did that? Well, you could still do this, and then there's still that. And it's like, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to find my son. I don't give a shit about him. I want to make the Minutemen the baddest motherfuckers in the world, And it gives this feeling that, like, the one complaint I had about it, which it's like, for me, honestly, doesn't do much. The one complaint I had about it was that you can't straight up be the bad guy. And people are like, well, you can make bad choices in it. Like, that's what I always hear. They're like, you could be a jerk. Yeah, that's for sure. But you can't be the bad guy. Like, when you played Fallout 3, you could walk out, you meet everyone in Megaton, and they're like, hey, sir, you want to disarm that bomb, da-da-da, they're all happy. And then you meet the guy and he's like, you want to fucking blow it up? And then you're like, sure. And he gives you the thing, you arm it, you walk over, and you blow up Megaton. And then you can do that with everything. Like, there's no karma in Fallout 4, which was a little odd. But for me, it doesn't matter because I always play good guy anyways. But it was like, a little bit of a downer. That was the only downer, but I couldn't hold that against it just for how much the game like pulled me in and everything. And I know people talk about the glitches. I honestly, there was one glitch which they fixed after like a week, was the terminal glitch. You get stuck at terminals. They got rid of it very quickly, and like I don't know. I don't know if console had a problem with it or something, but
I haven't played it.
PC was like totally fine. Like I had really no glitches, and there's always those weird technical shit that PC people always have to deal with, anyways. But enough of that. The game was amazing.
Yep.
They improved the gunplay. Like it actually feels like a shooter now. You can actually play it. It's not like that crosshair's meaningless and bullets are just gonna go all over the screen like it was in Fallout 3 and stuff. Like Fallout 3, amazing game. Fallout New Vegas, also an amazing game. But overall, it was like the shooting mechanics just did not feel the best. I don't think you played it, did you?
I've been playing 3 recently.
Oh, okay, and you know what I mean then? That's like,
yeah, no. Every time I have to fight somebody, I just do the targeting thing.
Yeah, you have to use VATS, and it's like that's that's the only way to do it. Which now I really like how they added VATS. Like, yeah, I could go on and on and on about this game.
Yeah, I know. So
but we'll just stick to that. Fallout 4 is my game of the year 2015. It's absolutely amazing.
Mine's Contradiction.
So
yeah, but alright guys, so that was our top 5 each. So if you want to put it together, it's like a top 10-ish. You can go ahead.
Top 9.
Top 9, yeah, because we both had the same number 3.
Yeah.
But if you like this video, go ahead and give us a like, a favorite, a subscribe. Go ahead and leave us a comment, see if you agree or disagree, or tell us to fuck off, whatever you want to do. And yeah.
Yeah, the dislike button's there too if you hate us for any reason.
Yep. Alright guys, we look forward to doing many more videos and reviews for 2016.
Catch you all later. Who does that?